Let's go open up the Progression Center. The first thing you'll see is this blue window. It's got time signature, 4-4 or 3-4, you can choose those. Progression Player, which will open up the Progression Player. Or the Progression Creator, where you can open up a folder which contains a number of progressions, and this is where we're going to create some progressions as well. These folders, you can just add them by just typing in a name here and then click Add. Right now we're going to choose Jazz Progressions, so I'm going to click on that, and we've opened up a 4-4 window of the Creator. Right at the top you've got Roman numerals, so it helps that you know how Roman numerals work. These will be where you choose the chord. Down on the stave we've got a little hand that we can move around. That means on the first beat we have a 1 chord, which is C major 7 because it's in the key of C, and it's a 1 major 7 chord. If you know your spelling, you'll know that a 1 is a C, a 2 is a D, in this key anyway, a 3 is a E, a 4 is an F, a 5 is a G, a 6 is an A, and a 7 is a B. So this is where we choose our chords from. Now if I go to press a 2 here, where the hand is, I'll get D minus 7, or 2 minus 7. Now this is using nomenclature. If you don't know what that is, it's a kind of jazz shorthand, and in the progression player you can choose whether you want the long version or this nomenclature. You can check it out on the internet. But for now we're going to make a progression. I should also mention that you can change it from 4 bars to 3 bars, 2 bars, or 1 bar. We're going to go for 4 bars, and I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with a 6. So I'm going to press 6, and in the key of C, a 6 is an A. So what we have there is an A minus 7. I'm going to change to this bar and put in a 5, which would be a G7. To this bar I'll put in a 4, and to this last one I'm going to put in a 3. Now, you're probably thinking, where do you get these chords from? Well, the chords that go off these Roman numerals are ones that are typical for these degrees, or these chords. I'm going to change the type of this 3 and make it a 7th chord. So what I do is I choose another chord type, clicking on this button, choose a 7, choose, and close. And you can see that now we have E7. So let me play that. I'm going to boost up the tempo. I can use the plus or minus or my customary comma and full stop key. Take it up to 120 and press play. Great. Now say if I didn't want to save this progression, I just thought of a progression, I want to just jam over it, I can loop it, so it'll just play over and over again. But we are going to save this, and we're going to call it, first I'll get rid of this one, I'm going to call it test number 1. Now, I've just saved it, and you can see that test number 1 is listed, and it's also got a depiction of what's happening in the progression. If I wanted to edit a progression, I can just click on it, say for this one here, and open it up, and there it is. Alright, so that's pretty much it for the creator. Let's go check out the progression player. I should mention also that you can export and import like any other tool here. Export to the website, export to the desktop. This is the actual folder, not the individual progressions. You can also import it from a file, like from the Guitar Sight Reader Toolbox exports on your desktop, or you can open up the community sharing tool, which will enable you to install folders from other people who have made folders. Okay, so let's go to the progression player, and if you're new to version 2.0, you'll notice we also have a record feature here, so you can record yourself playing along. I'm not going to activate this right now because it seems to interfere with the screen recording, but what you would do is you just click this red button so it says on, and when you start playing, it's going to record. And then when you stop, it's going to stop recording, and then you can listen to it back, but we're not going to do that. Right, so we have 4 bars to a stave here. We've got a top stave and a bottom stave. I'm just going to speed up the tempo. First I'm going to grab some progressions, because what I do is I grab my progressions and I just drag them in here. You could just do this with one progression if you're specifically working on one kind of progression. I'm going to speed up the tempo, maybe down a little bit. Alright, so how does this work? Well, basically it'll take any of these progressions and it's going to play it in any of the keys I selected. It'll either play through each key center once before repeating, or a random choice from the selected key centers. Bear in mind that this key center is a 1. So for example, this top one here, 2 bar 2 5, well, the first chord will be a D because it's a 2, and then the second one will be a 5 in the key of C. But you can choose many more key centers. I'm going to choose a preset called Vanilla. You've got all sorts of different presets, or you can just hand pick them. And I'm going to play one of the progressions. I'm going to play a progression that's going to choose from any of these. So let's press play. So what's going on here? Well, we have these 4 bars which are playing, and when it gets to the end, these next 4 bars are going to advance up to the top stave, and then they will play. This is a great tool for playing over certain progressions you're working on. It's especially good for jazz school students or music students who have a cool 2-5-1 lick or 2-5 lick or particular lick over progressions. For example, this top one, 2-5, and they want to be able to play it in any key at any tempo. And they also want to record themselves to make sure that it's grooving. I actually made this tool when I was back at jazz school. Of course, now it's a lot more advanced. So have fun with this, and I'm going to go make some more videos.